can give you the recording also in the YouTube link.
Oh, definitely.
Sir, thank you so much for this particular sessions that is been very important to address, because nowadays all over the world they are facing terrorism is one factor. Another factor is very important to address, that is the promotion and protection of sacred sites. Sacred and holy sites, they need to be protected, because it is not only the sacred and holy sites, but it is our cultural heritage. So apart from the religious belief, we need to restore, we need to protect our cultural heritage. Bangladesh is very close to, as a Bengali, Bangladesh is very close to my heart, because it's connected with the same language. So I'm really feel very honored that Professor Muhammad Ali is with us, and Professor Ali is our esteemed speaker for today's particular sessions, that is the with the consultation on the protection of sacred and religious sites by Kaisit Fellow. And Professor Dr. Mohammad Mehboob Ali, he will share some of the thoughts. But before that, I would really like to know, sir, about your introduction. If you start with your introduction and then share your views that recently have happened in Bangladesh, because within 2 years we can able to hear some of the incident. Before that it was not the scenario, but all of a sudden we can able to hear some of the vandalism activities, particularly during the Hindu festivals. So sir, if you kindly give your input.
Thank you, madam. I'm very delighted to join in the KISET dialogue session. Actually, it is a very timely session because in my 56 years life, I never thought I had to speak in this situation. Actually, our Honorable Prime Minister is very good, and she wanted that Bangladesh is a peaceful country and harmony among the community. Problem lies with BNP and Jamaat group, and also some Molobadi Gusti in Bengali we say. Recently, government take start action this Molobadi Gusti, that is means which are very aggressive, rightist, and during our independence war, they acted against our independence, and at the age they worked in favor of Pakistan, and at that time they killed both Hindu, Muslim, even Buddha, Christian, everyone. So government tried their level best. And one information I want to give: when this government took power 12 years ago, at that time Hindu Puja Mandap, number of Durga Puja Mandap is only 11,000, but now it is 32,000. So government is always in favor of communal harmony, and I personally believe without communal harmony, a country cannot progress. And the first condition to become global people, that we are human beings. If we are not human beings, if we behave like beasts, if we work like vandalism, then what will happen? Any development effort will be not fulfilled. And our law enforcing agencies are also good. But the problem lies with that BNP, Jamaat, and extremists. They are like terrorists. They acted like terrorists. And what they did? They keep the Holy Quran and try to make it an issue. And you see, I born and brought up in Kumilla, and that place is my most favorite place at that time, because my house is uh, only 5 kilometers distance. I never seen such incident. I was the volunteer of all the puja committee. I was the volunteer of all the Saraswati and Durga Puja committee during my from school. to university level. So when I heard this news, I asked one of my friends who is currently justice that how in Kumilla this happened. He told that don't worry, this is specifically this is a not an issue at all because some miscreants did it and law enforcement agencies are very active. They will do their best. But problem lies nowadays Facebook and Twitter they are actually creating problems. Not only this holy Durga Puja, but also for women. Because you see, they, uh, they circulated the program. Maybe one criminal or one miscreant, they took the photo. Why Facebook and Facebook actually circulated the photo that our law enforcement agencies officer is taking the Holy Quran back because if Facebook did not, then the people cannot be in a problem. This is one issue. So I think that most important is CC camera must have. And that Puja Mandap, I earlier also go there. This time I did not go due to COVID. But there is no CC camera. That's why it was difficult for the police. But now police has already detected the mistake. But as it is circulated by the Facebook, so it creates a problem for the illiterate people. And illiterate people actually does not know what to do. But every incident, there is a godfather or godmother in all over the world. But our honorable prime minister has ordered that the person whoever doing this incident in whose place, whatever the his party affiliation, he must be arrested. So arresting is started, and all the sorts of measures have been taken. But problem lies in a secret place when one person to sabotage, do something, all on a sudden, police cannot be jumped there. It is the reality. This, I do not know how to express my sorrow, grief, and my actually I am so unhappy with this incident that over this issue, you see in Rangpur, in Chatpur, in also Chomoni, and different areas also some sort of problem, and police has taken their action. But you see, if local people resist earlier, like when I was in Kumilla, then it will be very difficult to the miscreant. You see, in there is a problem in Kumilla town started, but nobody they are affected. But you see in Haziganj, in Chomoni, or in Rangpur, there is a problem. Why this problem? Because I think it is the moral duty of all each and everybody, whatever the religion, that we should respect others. And how we can respect others? This is the most important thing because humanity is the first thing. What Manavendra Rai said, Aman Rai said, I believe that what respect others. And our honorable Prime Minister also said, Islam does not say to attack others. And really, Islam does not ever say attack others. So, Hindu community, I do not want to say Hindu community because I want to say they are the human being of the country. They are Bengalis. As I am a Bangladeshi, my nationality is Bangladeshi, but we are Bengalis as Nagarik. So when this sort of incident occurred, I think progressive forces should come forward more earlier, because if you can prevent anything by the society, then others cannot get the scope. When society is in divide and rule, then that is the problem, and some miscreants are doing this, and I think uh, it is moral responsibility. Those who are the influential, they should act properly. Definitely, in Kumilla town, there is no what that is called worst thing, but the provision of information to the community about sacred and religious places by the authority, that is very important, and it should be done properly, so that no can uh, actually do harm or vandalism for the society as a whole. Religion or different persons may differ. When progress occurs, other people of religion must act with sincerity and morality and ethically. I think whatever they done against this uh, bad incident, this is inhuman, and they will be penalized, as our law minister says that after regular arrest, when confession will do, they will go for special tribunal. If somebody is given death sentence for wrong deed, then I think there will be stern action will be taken in future. Then in future nobody will come with this, because I 100% believe in our present government as well as the law enforcement agency. But the question is morality of the illiterate people. Because if you give 100 taka and he did something, so it is the duty of the law enforcement agencies who are doing, and they are actually trying to see who are the behind the scene. If behind the scene people is not detected, then there will be a problem. And somebody is saying in Bangladesh that that BNP and Jamaat group and also radicalist and extremist party who cannot actually get scope during the Sheikh Hasina period, they are trying to create riot. But God forbid, riot has been stopped. But it cannot be said that riot is stopped, but when vandalism in a mandir occurs, it also hurts me as a human being of the Bengali. So we are not so bad. We are not so greedy that we are go to the another religious people, because I personally always believe that community should go who is Hindu, who is Muslim, who is Christian, who is Buddha. It is not a factor to me. My factor is I am human being. I will do something good for the humanity. That is the most important. But you will have to learn illiterate people. That illiterate people what they did, or some knowledgeable person they did for their personal gain. Now I believe they should get real punish and real punishment, and when they will get the real punishment, and then it will be never work, because dialogue is another thing, intercommunity and communal feeling is another thing, but we have to think how harmony can be created, how we can spread this community in a nice as a global people. And the most important thing that BNP Jamaat and some rightist wing are creating nasty politics for which we are suffering. Because Bangladesh is progressing under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, and this inhuman community, the communal harmony, actually create a problem for the society as a whole. and I think humanity degraded, and our ethical and moral values have been degraded. So it is time to take some civil society people to go and ask other religious people, including Muslims, that why and how when they did not take action. Because only saying that there, I'm seeing that some civil society people are doing drama against this sort of bad incident. But when you are doing this drama in the Dhaka city, in Shahbag area, it doesn't hit the Rampur Birganj area. It doesn't go to the Chomri area. So, as a civil society people, you must go to the door to door people and ask that religion harmony is the main thing which should be done, and that this is the duty of the all the civil society people, not only for the law enforcing agencies, because they are doing their duty. But why, as the civil people, you cannot civil society people, you are the representative of the civil society people. Why you are not going to the normal people or masses and communicate one thing? If you do this wrong, then you will be punished, because our government is doing their best. And I think Hindu community is like Muslim community. And another thing I want to say, with very unfortunate thing, in Bangladesh, uh, around in the 2007, one Jamaat professor, he told me Hindu people as Sanatan Dharmavalambhi. I protested because it comes from Hindu Kush area. Nowadays, in Bangladesh, if you heard TV, radio, and newspaper, you will see everybody is writing Sanatan Dharma Guru. But as per Bangladesh constitutions, we are no Hindu, Muslim, Buddha, Christian. There is not written Sanatan. When I asked one of my students, the lecturer, uh, Shubha, that it is not right, Sanatan Dharmavalambhi. Well, he said, no, sir, it is not okay, because he is from Hindu community. And you are writing Muslim, that is not also good, because you are Islam. But actually, starting from the Nazrul, everybody wrote Hindu, Muslim, Buddha, Christian community. So, and our constitution, at the time of our great father of the nation, Bangabandhu, they also say Hindu, Buddha, Muslim, Christian, Dharmavalambhi. So, why we are going to write Sanatan Dharmavalambhi? Because when you are saying Sanatan Dharmavalambhi, it was first started by the Zia Rahman time, after the death of our Bangabandhu, father of the nation, that Sanatan Dharmavalambhi, it actually makes difference. What difference? Because it makes that no, your religion is not modern. Actually, no religion is modern, no religion is old. Every religion has its own identity, every religion is for his or her belief, and we have to respect this belief, and we have to take action. And my most important thing, when any occasion will go, that means it may be Hindu, it may be Christians, it may be Muslims, it may be Buddha. Everyone we should do it nicely. You see, after the incident of that, Lokhi Puja has done in the same day three types of programs of three religions, and it was nicely handled. But question is, why this happened? This happened because there is some people who wanted to demoralize our present government. But our present government is actually loves Hindus, and they try their best for the Hindu community. So I believe this incident, if we want to approve, then our civil society members should go to the Hindu community's house and Muslim community house and say that you see, for 1000 century, 1000 years, we are living side by side. So this sort of incident should not occur in future. We must get that sort of patience. And sacred places, yes, you are right. This is cultural heritage. When suppose went to Kolkata and I did not get the plane. At that time, I was commenting in the Subhash Chandra Bose airport, the couple in Nam Gopal. So my friend advocate there asked me, "You are also telling sex?" I said, "It is the proverb. We learned that, and our education system also needs some change because as an education, because whatever I read 40 years back or 45 years back or suppose 50 years back, because reading starts at 4. So now I'm running 56. So 51 years, what is written? That is more and more actually non-communal and harmonical. So our education system should be changed. And I see in this way that inter-religion conflict must be stopped, and there is the duty and morality and ethical values, and this should be created by the civil society, and they must be answerable why they are not still going to the different places and asking those who are not vandalizing, but they are why they are not active to protect their friends, their relatives, because I think relatives means heart to heart. This is not relative means not blood connection. My observation relatives is heart to heart. So I have a lot of friends in all over the world. So I think they never see which religion you are. They see whether you merit, whether your education level is okay. My education started from the Christian missionary school. My American sisters used to take us church, but they never said, Babu, you change your religion. They just pray because on the at that time also Sunday is the official time, but their prayer time was 10 to 11. At that time, they took up us because they thought we are small boys or girls because we may be in a problem if they keep us in the institution. So they took us in the Holy Church and keep us there. So we must have this kind of education, and I think our those who are the imams or Molanas, they should at the Friday they should say Jumma Namaz that do not disturb other, because as if you are, if one is true Muslim, he cannot ever attack another community. As per humanity and religion, it is the last word of our great prophet Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Never, never destroy or attack any other religion. Rather, try to destroy. Even, but recently, what I have seen, those who are the terrorists, they are uh, they are telling new hadiths what we never read 50 years back. Because when I was a student, I saw my Hindu friends are reading Hindu religion, Muslims are reading Muslim religion. There is no conflict of interest, and Christian students are reading Christian religions, and Bodo community is reading Bodo typical. So we must be aware of the good consciousness, and I think Bengali is our mother tongue. So Bengali poems and Bengali written should be improved so that it brings us communal harmony, and our father of the nation, always in favor of communal harmony. And there is also one sort of there is also one sort of problem, that is some corrupt people all on a sudden becoming richer, and they may do this sort of thing. But I believe our law and enforcement agencies will take proper action, and start action will be taken from through the High Court or Supreme Court, and it should be done immediately, so that this should be stopped forever. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Professor Mahbub. Professor Mahbub, one of the fellow already left. She's Kenu Agarwal from Delhi. But now another fellow from Singapore joined. Master Tan, would you like to introduce yourself, please? Welcome to the session. Thank you so much for joining, Master Tan. Master Tan? Thank you so much, Professor Mahbub, that you correctly said that we need to revive our cultural heritage first. Because in this true essence of the religion taught us the lifestyle, how we want to be in our life. That is the basic thing. And I'm really, really feel honored that you really on the right track about the Hinduism and the Sanatan Hindu. It's really really feel very not very much comfortable when I first heard Sanatan Dharma. I wouldn't able to feel connect with Hinduism and Sanatan Dharma, because Sanatan Hinduism is different in Indian perspective, and they are different community altogether who are believing in Sanatan Hinduism. But then I found that it is been actually changed. Initially in Bangladesh constitution also it has been written as Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Christians altogether. But now all of a sudden they are only talking about, when in the Department of Religion also, they are talking about Sanatan Hindu. What is Sanatan Dharma and Hinduism that they are not similar? First of all,
Yes.
there is a massive gap of the education system, particularly because the current student who are the religious students in Department of Religious and Culture in the Dhaka University also, they may not have the correct definition of Hinduism and Sanatan Hindu. So anyway, we can definitely, if we would have our fellow from Bangladesh, they could uh, give us some more information on that. But we missed them somehow. But thank you so much, sir, for your input. And here I would really like to add one thing. As during the Durga Puja, whatever happened with the vandalism activities, it's not been appropriate. But against that, what happened just before 2 days in Tripura, that is also not accepted as a Indian fellow from Kaisid. So we always condemn any kind of this vandalism activities against. Hello, Master Tan. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello, Kenuchi. Kenuchi joined again. So I request
Hello,
Master Tan to.
hello, Swati.
Hi, Kenuchi. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. And thank you, Master Tan. Thank you for joining. Master Tan, would you like to introduce yourself, and if you just put your points, how we can protect our sacred sites? Master Tan, you have to unmute yourself first. You couldn't able to do that?
Please unmute your
Yes. Okay, Kenuchi, Kenuchi is our very active fellow in India, and she is doing brilliant work in terms of the women empowerment. And she is doing a wonderful project called Empower Her. And Kenuchi, would you like to please share your point? How we can able to protect and how we can create a safe space for every religious beliefs, and what is your standpoint to protect our cultural heritage and sacred sites?
Yes, thank you, Swati. Thank you for organizing such a wonderful session. And I just heard Professor talking, so it was a wonderful experience and a wonderful discussion. Here, I'd like to say one thing: protecting religious sites is a very important factor. And usually it happens whenever, usually people who believe in religion, they do not attack the religious site. It is usually the anti-social element who wants to create differences. That's what I feel, especially in India. It is the anti-social element who wants to create differences. So they, like, it's an easy target for them. And they attack. So whenever a religious site is attacked or it is vandalized or people inside it are killed, I think we should all religious people should all stand together, irrespective of the fact whether a Muslim religious site is attacked or a Hindu site is attacked or of any religion. The fact is a religious site is attacked. But people have been worshipping peacefully, where people go for togetherness, people go for reaching spiritual heights. So we should all stand together there. And this is something that we have been witnessing quite some time, and maybe we will witness this in future also. But one fact remains, and I'm so happy people of many religions are there on this issue, and we should always stand with each other. That is something I feel.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Kenichi, for your input. That's very important. And what we believe that religion is not the rigid thing. Religion create much more harmonious way and create a safe space for everybody. The extremism, the hate speech is not at all part of any religious activity. But what happened nowadays, negativity is very easy to spread out. It's very tough to create love space, create respect for others. It's very easy to say harsh word, disheartened words to others, and it automatically spread out. And thanks to social media, it is creating like a fire, like a wave. So negative words, hate speech is creating much more uh, fiery. It's creating like a wave of situations in due to social media activities. What I believe, social media have a tremendous role to prevent hate speech. So that's how KAICID is doing wonderful work. We have a wonderful publication also, countering hate speech and use social media, a
Yes.
wonderful tool to use dialogue. Hello, Master Tan. Yes, we can able to
Yes.
hear you. Please,
Can you hear me now?
hear you.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, good, good. Thank you.
Master Tan, would you please share your thoughts? Because you are also from uh, totally different, like me and Kenuchi from Hinduism.
Yeah,
Professor Mahbub is from Islam,
I
and
see.
you are from Chinese
Yes,
traditional practitioners. So we are really, really feel honored that you joined. It's very already late night in Singapore, but you joined. Uh,
yes,
Please share your views how we can able to create a safe space for every religious beliefs and how we can able to protect our sacred sites. Because when
yes,
during our visit in Malaysia, we went to a Chinese temple, and I was seeing in my Facebook post and with
yes,
my fellow from Philippines, and she is Muslim.
yes.
We were very feel safe at that place. We never
Mm,
felt that we are from outside. How the priest greeted us, how they were treated us, and how Kaisit altogether represent the traditional things. That was wonderful. So, Master Tan, I really, really request you if you just share some of your thoughts.
Okay, thank you so much. It's actually some privilege to join this because of the title, about sacred places. Um, why I came on board was I wanted to hear and also to learn from others, who safeguard sacred and holy places in their own countries. For myself, I'm in a temple. I manage and look after a temple. Singapore is still very young, and this temple is 190 years old. In reality, it's also can be considered one of the oldest temple in Singapore, because Singapore is so small. It's just a city, and our history is not as long as yours. So we start very young. But the place that I'm attached to is 190 years old, as I said, and it has this social and cultural background. And because of this, the Singapore government decided to put this place as a national monument. So once we are tagged this place temple as a national monument, we are not allowed to change, I think, the facade of the monument, the building, and also the traditions, what this building has all along been, how to say it, is brought about, how did it come about, and why is it so important that the government feel that we should keep this place as it is. That means it's typically a Chinese temple, and our artifacts, architectural are from China, and China is not the northern part, but it's the southern part. So its southern part is more like Fujian, near the Fujian province, and the place there, the aesthetic of the building is very different from the north. My temple, in fact, is quite colorful. We pick up more from the southern side, whereas northern Chinese temple tend to be a bit more chromatic. That means light color, more on ash gray, whereas ours is colorful. Colorful in the sense that we use, different colored tiles. We use different features, like, for example, we have motifs of the birds. You can understand, birds can be so colorful. So it replicate the features of this. So if there's an opportunity, definitely I warmly welcome all of you to Singapore, and then you can actually see it.
That's so kind of you. We'd
Oh,
really
you're
like
always
to visit.
welcome. And
Definitely.
I'm so happy that I'm able to take care of this building, to maintain it and to ensure that it's in good state, and allow the public or even the tourists to enjoy all these years, 100 over years, how we can manage to maintain it. So of course, we did have to raise funds to restore the building, because we're quite near to the park, and we have termite infestation. So that was not so good. But now it's restored and it's open to the public. It's a safe building, and they can come in. So to me, after spending about 12 years to take care of this building, there's a sense of belonging. So when it came out, this topic about sacred places and holy places, I feel that it's the responsibility of each religion, if possible, to ensure the continuation of these buildings. That means to protect them from destruction or even the change of their worship, and also how to say it localized with what's in that particular country, and allow the people to, how to say it, to be proud of this heritage. So for me, very simply, save the heritage, because it's the wellspring of all of us, and because we are basically Taoists, we practice Taoism, and we would like this to be continued. So that's my we want to add in into this particular topic, is just to share that in the heart, at least we have done something that we can contribute towards our religion or our faith, and also for generations to come. Thank you for
Thank
hearing
you
me.
so much, Mr. Dan. That's a wonderful words that you have uttered just now. That we need to continue uh,
Yes.
how we are, because that's how our heritage, our tradition can be penetrated to our next
Yes.
generation. That is very important.
Yes.
Otherwise, uh, we will be altogether. I wouldn't say westernization is bad or westernization is not good, but what I believe that what Eastern culture is have, that is more powerful, that integrity that Western civilization is now more concentrating into the philosophy of the Eastern philosophy now.
True. True.
So I think we have a wonderful cultural heritage, and we need to protect each and every sacred sites. And
Yes.
the incident in India that is very, very, very close to my heart. That time I was very young. 92 incident, and Kenuji also been support me that the incident which actually uh, totally mesmerized the entire world. Demolition of a sacred sites, that is in Babri Mosque.
Mm.
So that incident is very, very dangerous impact afterwards also,
True.
because when you actually going to demolish religious sites, that is creating tremendous mental pressure for
Mm.
that particular community, that particular religion people,
Yes.
and you actually disrespect that particular religion is not good at all for the communal harmony and the national integrity also. Because when in India we are believing in the secularism, the pluralism, at the same time we need to safeguard all religious cultural beliefs and what we call dharohar to everybody, that means
Yes.
traditional belief to each and every religious persons.
Mm.
That
True.
safety, that security of the feelings should be equal for everybody, not for the only Hindu people, but for the Muslim, for the Christian, for the Sikh, for the Jains, who are very limited also. Even for the Jews also, because in India we
Yes.
have a Jews community as well.
Oh.
So for each and everybody, it should be equal, because that's written in our constitution. So I think
Oh.
government should definitely take the initiative to do it as a constitutional way, definitely. And same for Bangladesh also, same for India also. So
Mm.
somehow what I believe, we all are equal, and that's how we all are here, because our wavelength has been matched. Thank you so much, Bhavya ji just joined. We are almost at the end of the discussions. Bhavya ji is also our Kaisit fellow from India, and he's a wonderful religious journalist. Bhavya ji, thank you so much for joining. Bhavya ji is doing a wonderful documentation for Indian Fellows chapter. So, Bhavya ji, I'm really, really feel honored that you joined. Though it's very late, but it's never late than joining. So, at least you joined. Thank you so much. You respect me a lot. That's why you joined. Thank you first of all. Dr. Mehboob Ali from Bangladesh. He's a very reputed professor in the field of microeconomics and entrepreneurships, and he joined as a special speaker for today's. So, Bhavyaji, this session is being recorded, and I will definitely share with you. All of Bhavyaji is a wonderful journalist in the field of religion. Uh, I
Mm.
think he is in Nagpur, or you already returned to Delhi, because
No, no, I returned to Delhi.
okay,
But
Bhavyaji, thank you so much.
yesterday there was a
Yes.
festival of wives actually, so I have to return somehow.
Okay. Bhavyaji, would you like to share your input that you just going to shoot for Indian National Chapter documentation? So, what is your input on the protection of sacred site? Because in India, what we see, that sacred sites is not only sacred site, but it is our cultural heritage. And some of the buildings are being declared as UNESCO World Heritage Center. So please share your points, and already you have done some of your shootings.
Yeah.
So
No, but
please share.
to highlight the religious places and their security, and this because every country has law, every country has constitution to take care of diverse faiths and diverse religious practices. And surely there are sites, if you go to Japan, if you go to China, there are sites belongs to different religions which are protected by the country or by UNESCO or by other world organizations. Surely in India, because there are a lot of faiths and lot of, I can say, intruders came in past, but somehow they have added the value of this country, and also made lot of places, faith places. Maybe they are Britishers, maybe they are Mughals, maybe they are, that belongs to different tradition, maybe they are Jews, maybe they are Zoroastrianism. In Delhi, if you come to Delhi, the capital of India, you always find there is a lotus temple of Baha'i tradition. You find a synagogue where in the altar women are allowed. All over the world, it is not possible that in the altar of a synagogue women are allowed, but in India you find these type of diversity. Surely we have heard the news of Bangladesh, and now I'm also reading about it. The government has intervened and also doing a lot of work to uh, replace the calm between the community, and also also giving a relief to the victims, not victims actually, but somehow, because we have segregated between minority and majority, and that is, I always believe, that is a false notion. Don't put peoples into minority and majority, because they are have the same rights in the country. This is a political fallout of things. When we say he's a minority and his rights get protected, and he's a majority and he has a right to, you can say, exploit things. So somehow there are political things. Yesterday I was in a very big conference. There were all leading gurus. There were Cardinal Oswald, who is the senior most Christian leader of this country and senior most advisor to Pope. They have also concerns because every culture is facing some type of political intrusion. The problem with these countries, where the political game is now we are seeing a time when political leaders understand the power of religion, and they are misusing both in both ways. Maybe it's America, maybe it's Europe, maybe it's Syria, Iran, Afghanistan, even some parts of India, and also in Bangladesh. Now we are seeing. So surely we have a model, we can say, in India, because we have all the faiths and we respect all the faiths. Because like Kenuji is living in a part of city where, in on a road of Chandni Chowk, there is a place called Chandni Chowk in near Red Fort. There are five faiths represent there. In a single road, you find a gurudwara, you find a mosque, two mosques actually, you find a church, you find a Hindu temple. So these are the beauties which we have, and we always respect other traditions. Like other festivals are coming now, Diwali is coming, after that other festivals are coming. So we have the responsibility. Few minutes back I was reading a book. There is a very famous book from Yuval Nari, who has written this Homo sapiens. He has just written a book about the 21st century, and he is challenging the idea of everything what we have made. Maybe our religious thinkings, maybe our political thinkings, and he argued how technology is diminishing everything, because we don't have the power to capture so many ideas at a time. We have only our old stories. We are not forming new stories. And when we go to any conferences, when we go to any faith places, these old stories are coming forward. Every time there are cliche there. So sometimes it's a very challenging time, because technology is changing a lot of things. Because the youth is not very much interested into the old stories. That's why they are into haze. They are confused. They didn't get new stories to consume. So it's our responsibility. And after reading it, I was thinking so much how can we create new stories in society. So these are the feelings. Actually, I sorry I joined just last moment because the lot, but it's very nice to thanks Swati ji, and thanks Kenu ji, to everyone.
Here I would like to say another thing, as Bhavyaji mentioned, that it's just a 1 kilometer road and there are many lanes inside. And if we see, you can actually find hundreds of temples and maybe hundreds of mosques, although on the road. After every few meters, there will be one religious place. There is a Jain temple, then there is a church, then there is a like right in the beginning, there is the largest mosque, and they are not just built now; they exist there from almost 16th century. So this, and we all protest because I have been living here. My I have been living here from last almost 4 generations. So we
Mm.
have been together protecting each other's religious side and respecting each other's religion. So this is very important that respecting each other religions, respecting each other religious sides, and letting them perform their rituals peacefully has been part of Indian culture from centuries. As we all say that Mughals came to India, Christians came to India, everybody came to India, but nobody disturbed religions of anybody. And like if there is Eid, we all celebrate Eid together. We are with them. When it's Diwali, in fact, you will not believe we have almost three Ramleelas. Ramleela is a totally Hindu festival. Hindu festival like in Navratri. So it's the story of Ram that is displayed. We have almost 3, 4 Ramleelas, and you will find people of all religions going there. Like you'll find people of Muslim religion going there. It's not just, or if we have like around Jama Masjid, if there is whole month of Ramzan, where there is good food sold. So like everybody goes there to eat that good food. It's not there only for Muslims the good food is there. So these are the things. And in Jain temple, if you must really see at Gurudwara every morning there are hundreds of people who are treated, because there are a lot of people who are below like unprivileged people who do not even get enough. They do not have enough money to get their wound healed. So you will see hundreds of people in a line, and people from Gurdwara will come and they will like give them bandage, give them medicine so that they get treated. So there is no religious, like they do not differentiate between if they are giving medical support to Shakti, whether the person is a Hindu or a Muslim or a Sikh. So that has been the culture from centuries, and it's our right now to protect all that. So, and I think Swati, you did a very wonderful thing by organizing something like this. And in future, I suppose we'll have more and more people into protecting religious rights, because it is through religious ties. I won't say 100%, but to quite an extent, through religious sites that the society has developed. Through these, like say, if we see a gurudwara or we see a temple, whether it's education, whether it's social work, so many things are done through these religious sites. Because, like you see, as I said, you see gurudwara, there are hundreds of people who get feeded through these religious sites. So they have been a place from where the development of the society took place. So if they are attacked, so somewhere the development of the society will be hindered. So
True.
it's very important.
So true.
Yes.
Bhavyaji,
True.
would you
True.
like to say something?
No, it is important, and because ultimately our culture, our society needs examples actually, and we have to take examples from past only. In the current we can't make examples, and if in the present we make an example, it's for future generation. Ultimately every country, every society, every thought, everything, it's come from past, no? So that's why the establishment, that's why the notions which we have in our mind, in our society, that's why Swati runs back to Kolkata to just to remember the past actually, to make the present more you can say more happy, more feeling, more emotions. So we all are in every country, everywhere. We see challenging ideas. We see challenging times actually. Yesterday, everybody was saying in the conference, it was a big conference, that's why I'm saying about it. Everybody is saying that we don't have to see the similarity. Now they are talking, see the diversity also. That's why God has made this world with lot of flowers, lot of fruits, lot of everything is different. 7 billion peoples are different, so better we understand the diversity, better we respect the diversity and save everything. It's not just saving about my religion, my ritual, my tradition. If I have a chance to save anything in this society, that is for the future generation. That is our responsibility, because if you give if you give the opportunity to shape your future to other people's, surely your future will face the things which are not in your control. I simply, because we are spending so much time on social media, surely we are giving our thoughts to them, our mind to them to shape. So these are the very current changes. Like today, there's a report came in India. Facebook become a fake book. They can't control the fake news in India on Facebook. This is the report. And try to understand, if I am consuming 2 hours, 3 hours on Facebook, that thing, how my mind gets shaped. Surely I become more. I can become more confused. Actually, I clearly say, not understanding my own religion, not understanding other religion, not understanding others' thought, and that's why these days people fight on social media. They become enemy actually of against. But if I can say anything, and now the time is like political become personal. There was a time when ideology matters actually, but now everything is personal. If you can comment on something, people taking it personally. There is no space to think in a very open liberal manner. In every society this is happening, maybe from Russia, from Europe, from US, from Bangladesh, from Malaysia, everywhere this problem. I have attended a lot of conferences in Colombo, where Buddhist and hardcore Buddhist, I'm saying. And first time when I met this hardcore Buddhist, I can't believe their Buddhist can be hardcore. How he become fundamentalist, I never believed that. But later when I come to know about the Myanmar Buddhist and other, then I, oh my god, what is this happening? And same happening in every religion. Like the Pew Research, the Pew Research company, which has said by 2050 the religion become more strict, more disciplined, and more fundamentalist. So if we have to stop, we have to take care of our own thoughts, own religion, own faith, and also our friends. Because ultimately, if someone is persecuted in the name of religion or faith place or dressing or ritual, ultimately the burden comes to us. You have to reply your children ki why Islam is not a good religion. If your children and ask and you have replied a negative comment, you are making his thoughts actually. And that is the biggest challenge. One of my friend has written a book to how to bring up a Muslim child in India. And it's a so sensitive book that when a child comes back from school, a small child, 3 4 5 years, and he asks very disturbing question from his mother, कि they have said this to me. Matlab, you can weep reading the book. It's so sensitive these days. And we are so I don't know what is going on, and we are so insensitive on social media. We can write anything, we can comment anything, never thinking about what's the impact on a whole culture. We are creating an impact. Sometimes when you go to do other country, you are representing the country, and if you're flashing an idea ki I don't like this, I don't this faith, I don't understand what they are doing in mosque, I don't understand what Christians do. So these are the very conflicting times in which we all have to do balance. We have a very important responsibility. And after yesterday, my mind is also that what should I do more to take this responsibility actually.
Good.
Thanks, Swati. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Bhavyaji. It's really a brainstorming idea that we are having right now. Previously, we were thinking that the commonalities, and now we have to think the diversity. So we definitely have some food for our thought process. So we will definitely process it, and maybe after some time, we'll definitely have some concrete idea that how we could do it, how could we shape our society for our next generation. We are almost at the end of our discussion because it's already 1 hour compact discussion, starting with a wonderful session with Professor Mahbub from Bangladesh. Thank you so much. Onek onek dhonyabad. I'm saying in my mother tongue because he is from Bangladesh. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
খুব ভালো লাগলো
Thank you.
আপনার প্রেজেন্সটা।
Thank you, ma'am.
I think this words like I have just uttered in Bengali, that is creating a very beautiful and very positive impact when you actually greet in your own, like if I could able to speak Chinese, I would be more than happy to discuss with Master Tan. और आप कैसे हैं केनू जी और आप कैसे हैं भव्या जी? That is creating much more impact to the other people. A beautiful word. I would like to conclude the sessions with the beautiful words from Lara Datta when he got the beauty pageant, Lara Datta from India. He said a wonderful word to the next contestant, that it doesn't matter what dress you wear, it doesn't matter what jewelry you are wearing, it doesn't matter how much makeup you are putting. The only thing matters your word to others, that how you are treating others. So that's a beautiful word she uttered, and I saw a beautiful video clippings in Facebook only. That is a fake book. That's your right, Bhavya ji. I'm also investing so much my time to Facebook, but I'm really trying my best to create at least some positive vibes, because nowadays it's negativity is all over the world. So let's try something with a very positive, concrete idea that how we can put together shaping our future generations. Thank you so much, all of you who have been presented today.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
Thanks
you
a
so
lot,
much.
Professor. Thanks.
Initiative.
Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Thank you, Master Tan. Thank you so much, all of you.
Kanu,
Bye-bye.
good to see you.
Good to see you. Yeah.
Thank you, man. All the
Thank you,
best
sir.
to you.
Thank you.
so much.
You went well. Best wishes.